Okay, we are recording. Welcome everybody to our team call. And tonight we are going to be talking about becoming a leader that others want to join. This is something I'm still growing at, so I don't have obviously all the answers, but I think it's a great area that all of us should be working on, because ultimately, to be a successful coach, if you want to be successful in this business, whether just to help others as a hobby or to build a business where you're earning a full-time income, you have to be a leader. I don't really think there's any way around not being a leader if you're in this business, right? So why not start now? So dig the well before you're thirsty, right? If you're a new coach, don't wait until you have other personally sponsored coaches that you bring to the team. Start now. You want to be prepared, right? You want to grow as a leader so that when you do have coaches join you, you know what to do, right? I posted kind of like the backdrop of all my social media posts that were around the time when I first started to becoming a coach, when I first became a coach. And I look back at that time, and I maybe had my husband on my team and then a friend who was getting the discount at this point in my business. And I took the initiative. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, I didn't know anybody that was going to this Platinum Edge conference, right? And it was in Texas, but I had decided I was going to do this. And I took the initiative and I went. I didn't have anybody on the team that was wanting to coach with me. I took that extra step because I knew and I believed in something bigger. If you're not willing to do those things, if you're not willing to do personal development on leadership before you have a team, it's going to be really hard to grow. So dig that well now so that you're prepared. And that was just something that I looked back and I was like, man, I can't believe I did that. I met Heather there and stayed in a room with her. It was the first time I met her. Awesome. And I realized these are people I want to surround myself with all the time. So I am 100% in. So anyways, looking back, I'm so happy I did that, because I don't know if I would have continued on, but I took the initiative to do it. And then I look at my other posts and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm going to give you, it's either 7 or 8 steps. I can't remember. Steps of how to become a better leader that others want to join. So number 1 is to share your vision. So you're probably wondering why I posted a picture of myself with a blank piece of paper. Well, because why would anybody want to join me if my paper was blank? If I didn't share anything about what I wanted to do as a coach, why I was a coach, I'm just kind of out there, right? There'd be no purpose to what I'm doing. And it's kind of boring, to be honest. Nobody's going to follow you if you don't share your goals. You have to have a direction. So share, what are your wellness goals? And this is on social media, but this is also in personal conversations. This is also within our team. This is an area where you want to share that. What are your wellness goals? Why are you coaching? Give people a reason to follow you. We've talked about vision a lot. You can go back into the team calls. Christy led an awesome one about your vision board and creating that and creating your why. And we did that in trainings. You have to share that, because ultimately nobody's going to want to join you. There might be people that want to join you, but you're not going to build a team that's passionate if you're not willing to share your why in front of people a lot. And you get more and more vulnerable as you go. So sometimes that's hard to do, but you just got to take little steps gradually over time. And people will connect with you. So number 2 is have empathy. I think sometimes this is hard. It's hard to remember to do when we're caught up in the monthly things that we're doing, right? So hitting Success Club, right? selling a challenge pack. All those things can take you over the edge to an area that you don't want to be in. Don't be focused on selling a challenge pack. I mean, don't be focused on Success Club. Those are goals, and they are very important goals, right? But that's not your purpose. So I want you to step back and really have empathy for people when you are in conversations. The doubts, fears, hurts, anger, struggles that they've been through, recognize those in your conversations and try to learn from them, try to grow from them, and help them better because you know those and you've reached out and you truly care and have empathy of what they're going through. It's a really tragic place when you get stuck in the me, right? These are my goals. These are the things that I want to do. And when you become a leader, which you should all become leaders tonight, if you're not already, you want to make sure that the team that you're leading, the people that you're helping, know that you care, right? And it's going to be much easier for you as a coach to understand and not take things personally when someone says, this just isn't the right time for me. Or maybe you have a coach that you see all this potential in, but they struggle with sharing. There's fears there, right? And it just kind of brings you back to like being in that new coach phase of what they're going through as well. So I think when you really have empathy, you can connect with people better, and it makes it easier to honor their choices for their business. This isn't their business, is not your business, right? It's their business. So they get to decide what they're going to do with it. And if you have empathy, it makes it much easier to just be on the same path as them, right? Whatever they want with their goals. Sorry, I have like a dry throat. Okay, attitude and enthusiasm. So I think everybody should do a self-evaluation. Take a look at your timeline on Facebook, the conversations that you've been having with people, how you've been acting in your challenge groups, on the team page, your relationship with your upline coach. What type of person are you reflecting? I loved this post that Christy did, and I should have posted what she wrote as well, but this was a more recent one. When life puts you in a tough situation, don't say why me, say try me. So when you are posting, are you putting it in a positive tone, right? She could have said, oh my gosh, I'm having this terrible day, and then poor me, right? But she's saying, I'm going to conquer this. And do you know how like contagious that is when somebody posts something like this? Like, I was just like, I can conquer what I'm doing too. You want to have that attitude. You want people to be inspired by you. Don't be a Debbie Downer. I had a bad day. I mean, it's really easy. I'll see things on Facebook all the time of like someone airing their dirty laundry. Don't have the impression that you have to make it seem like life is perfect, because it's not, right? In this post, Christy clearly shared that things weren't perfect that day, right? But what's the upside? There should always be an upside. And that's also in your conversations with coaches, in your challenge groups. There should always be an upside. What are you learning from that situation? Always have that positive attitude. It's really hard when somebody comes to me like a coach, and I'm sure you guys can relate, but when someone says, nobody wants to join me, I guess, this isn't right for me. What kind of attitude does that present? Or I'm just having a really bad month, I'm down. Well, you've got to have that upside. We're here to support each other, right? And bring each other and lift each other up. And that's our role, right? It's just like family. It doesn't always have to be perfect. But you as a leader, if you want to lead, you have got to see the upside all the time. Let's see. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Okay. Be steadfast. Okay, So when I started, a lot of people said, be here in a year. And I would say that to people too, like, be here in a year. And I probably still say it. And I actually was realizing today that I shouldn't. A year isn't a full commitment, right? It's kind of like still dabbling. If you're a new coach, if you've been here for a year, you may be still like, I'm kind of in this, I'm kind of not. If you want to lead a team, you've got to say, I am going to do this. It doesn't have to be fast, but I'm going to do this the right way. And I'm going to be here longer than a year. I'm going to be here in 5 years. I'm going to be here in 10 years. People have a hard time joining you when it's like, yeah, she might be here, right? Or she's only here this month. She wasn't here last month. Does she run a challenge group every month? Does she show up on Facebook at least once a day? Hopefully 3 times a day. And I'm talking to myself too, because sometimes I don't show up 3 times a day, but it's really important that you are fully committed to your vision. Whatever that vision is, whatever your vision is with coaching, fully commit to it. Show up every day and use this as your outlet. So I'm going to just share a little bit about like when I was pregnant, or not pregnant, but after I had Charlotte, I had a hard time getting motivated again. And to be honest, I wasn't 100% in. I am 100% in, like I am, but my mindset was like, I just want to rock my baby. Like, I know it's going to be okay. But I still was steadfast. Even during the times when I was like, this is a special time, right? But I still showed up on Facebook. It may not have been as much. I still ran a challenge group that month. And I still met my goals, right? So people want to see you consistent and steadfast. They want to join somebody that they know is going to stay. And you have to reflect that.
No, that's okay.
Thank you. Try to mute. Oh, there it went. Okay.
Sorry, I just couldn't hear anything.
Oh, no, that's okay. Thank you. Okay. And then trust the process, right? It's going to take time. I'm not even looking at my notes, and I had some good notes here. So be rooted in your decision. Be strong in your decision. Be the one thing that doesn't change. Be that coach that shows up every month. Be the coach that checks in with them. Because the majority of your team that you're going to be leading comes from challenge groups. So you're a direct reflection every single day. And your job is to prove that you're rooted in this business. You can be flexible, like when things happen, you have a baby or you lose someone close to you, you can be flexible, but still be here. It should be an outlet in a safe place and a place that you feel comfortable going because it makes you feel happier, right? It shouldn't be this weight on your shoulders. Okay. Number 5 is practice what you preach. This image, I think we've probably all seen it before. You're not a boss. A leader is not a boss. A leader is doing what every other person is doing on their team, right? What they're asking them to do, what they're sharing in trainings to do. So for us, that would be the 4 vital behaviors: inviting, recognizing, personal development, and being a product to the product, right? Those are the top 4. If you are asking your team to hit Success Club, then you better be hitting Success Club. If you're asking your team to run power hours or to do power hours, then you better be doing power hours or massive action power hours, or, doing those things. If you're asking them to show up on social media, to post on social media, well, then you should be showing up and posting on social media. Because if you want to lead, like, you have to show the way. And people are looking to you. And when they look, and it's like, oh, well, and I'll admit, like I've went to, I don't know, it was some top coaches that I follow. I was like, she's only posting once a day. Maybe I only need to post once a day. What? Like, that's an example. So they're setting an example, and that's not what I want to do, right? That's a bad example for me because I'm telling my team to post 3 times a day. Hosting monthly challenge groups, live events, showing up on the team calls, listening to the national wake-up call. This seems like a lot, but as it gets going, especially if you're a new coach, you ease into it all. And then a leader does the extra work. So extra work. Are you going to stay at the status quo? Are you just going to do the bare minimum to get by? Leader's going to do that extra work. They're going to take a little, maybe 15 extra minutes to go through their news feed and say, kind of evaluate, like, how did this post go? What did I say? Am I staying positive? Am I posting too much of this? A leader's going to do that extra work to make them move farther. And so that they're learning so they can share those things with their team. So doing personal development, go to somebody that inspires you or that you admire and watch what they're doing. If you are already a leader as a coach, then maybe go to not a top coach, but go to like Brendan Bouchard or Gary Vaynerchuk. Vaynerchuk, probably say his name wrong. Go to people like that, then you can learn more leadership skills from. Don't necessarily feel like you need to go to the top coaches to find out what you need to be doing. Make your own mark. This is a really big one. Take responsibility, personal responsibility. So this is your business, and I didn't really do very good bullets, but you're the CEO, right? So even including myself, so I'm not like calling anybody out, I'm talking to myself too, but there's valid reasons why maybe you didn't hit Success Club that month, or why your challenge group was a failure and nobody finished, right? There's valid reasons. It was during Christmas and everybody wanted to eat poorly, right? But usually when things don't go the way you want, or maybe you're not adding to your team and you wanted your business to grow faster, 99% of the time when things don't go the way that you want them to, it's because there's something that we ourselves are doing, right? It's our actions. It's not something that anybody else is doing or impacting. It's not your upline coach. It's not life. It's your actions, right? It's my actions. Nobody can build my business but me. I can't expect my upline coach to be an active coach for me to be successful, right? I can't expect everything to be perfect. Like, we all know that life is going to happen, right? We're going to have losses. We're going to have major snafus, things that are going to happen. And we have to determine, are we going to follow through on our commitment as a coach or not, right? And just like before I said, you should be flexible and you can be flexible. And that's like an advantage of being a coach, is that you can be. But I can't, my goal for the year was to hit Success Club 10 every month. And I hit Success Club 5 last month. I wanted to help more people. It wasn't because I had a baby that I hit Success Club 5. It was because I chose not to put in as many invites. It came down to the last week of the challenge, before the challenge group, and I didn't follow up. That was me. It wasn't because I had a baby. It was me, right? I clearly identify that. So you can't blame it on anybody else but yourself. Okay. Make connections and empower. I might have a husband coming in and changing a dirty diaper. So just caution. Make connections and empower. This is I think the most fun part, the funnest part of being a leader. These people on the left are challengers, they're coaches, They're people that I love. And there's way more. These are just a few that I had photos of. And I love these people, right? I connect with these people. And I think that is the most important thing. These people aren't challengers to me. They're friends. And they each have a different story. They each have a different background. They each have different struggles and fears and doubts. Because I know them, I can say that, right? Because I've made connections, and we can empower them based on whatever those doubts and fears are. When you're running a challenge group or you're leading a coach, get to know them. Get to know what makes them excited. And that's the most fun part, right? Show love to those people, and then bring out their strengths. We all have weaknesses, right? And sometimes we try to improve on all those weaknesses, and that's great. But I think the best thing that we can do for people is bring out their strengths and what they're good at, and have them continue to excel at those things, because that's what makes them strong. And show them that, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes it's hard to see those things in yourself. So tell those people like what you think is amazing about them, and continue to love and establish trust with them, because those connections are what are going to keep people connected to you and want to join you and want to follow through with you and do this awesome journey alongside of you, not behind you, but alongside of you. So I think that's the last one. Oh, no, I got one more. Okay, 8. Validate your leadership on team pages or calls. So I loved, this is an example of Brittany. She's a new coach, and she shared on our team page. And you know what? That flagged me. I was like, who is this girl? I want to know her. Like, she's amazing. And I went to her page and I friended her. And I urge you to add value on our team pages and on our team calls. Speak up. Even if it's a question that you have, because the more and more people that you know within this community, the more you're going to add to your social network, right? The more they're going to tell people to watch your page, and it just increases your leadership, or your following, I should say, and that's going to boost your posts up. It's going to, you're going to be in the news feed more. So all of those things, I think, it's not only just an example of leadership, right? And you're adding value even before she maybe doesn't have a team. I'm not sure if she has personally sponsored coaches or not, but I was like, who is this girl? Like, I want to learn from her. Like, this was awesome. And don't think that you can't add value if you're a new coach. You can definitely add value. There are so many things I don't know, and I'm sure that Sindel and Christy would say the same things, that we want to learn from everybody. So ask questions on the team page, share quotes, inspiration. If you want to lead a team call, if you have something awesome to share about, lead a team call. That was one of the first things and I remember Sindel and I led a What is Coaching webinar together. And man, that got me out of my comfort zone. And I think that's when it really kicked off. It was like, we're leaders, right? We can do this. And it's not going to be perfect, but here's the thing. If you're leading those live sneak peeks, if you're on the team pages or leading a call, even before you have your own personally sponsored coaches, you're going to perfect that. So when you're inviting and you're bringing people to join you, you're already experienced, right? It's not brand new. It's not scary. So this is the time to do it when maybe you have one person that comes to the live sneak peek, right? This is the time to practice and add value. Don't wait for the moment when you have people to join you. Do it now. And so that's kind of why you want to add value. We're not the only leaders on this team. We don't want to or think that we are, but we want to hear from everybody and hear what you guys have to share, what you think's working, not working. Let me see if I missed anything else in my notes. Our coach group, our team Eats Up Pray is a family, right? And everybody's a part of it. And the more and more that you dig into that, the more and more that you become a part of it, the more fun this is when you build more relationships with everybody on the team. It's not work. It's fun. I love phone calls. I love these team calls. Like, I wouldn't want to miss it because this is part of who I am. These are my people. You guys are my people, right? Why would I not want to show up and spend time with you? So I'm going to stop my share. 30 minutes. Right on the dot. Sorry, I usually always go way over. Okay, does anybody have any questions or takeaways? I'm sure I missed everything from my notes, but it's always hard to like look down when you're talking and you miss things. But any questions or takeaways? Or also suggestions that you think make a good leader. I mean, these aren't everything.
I thought that was fantastic, Kate. It's one of those calls where you're like, I could be doing this better. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, and it's good. It's a good thing and a good reminder. And I had two things that I kind of took away and also wanted to share. And one was that when you talked about, I think in number 6, taking responsibility. And I told Kate and Sindel this, but the rest of you probably don't know that when they went on maternity leave, when they were maternity leave, whatever, when they had their babies, I was scared out of my mind because I've never done this without them. And not that I was going to have to do it without them, but I knew that it would be different for a while. And I was terrified. And it gave me a little bit of an opportunity to take on a little bit more than I had previously and been like, okay, I can do this. Like, this is my business and my journey as well. And so I'm thankful for that opportunity, but I was really, really terrified. And so that I've been doing this for a really long time. So if you're scared, don't feel bad because I was really scared. And I'm just thankful that I didn't take the road of blaming Kate for not being there every day or, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Instead, I just took ownership for the first time, probably fully. And the other part was when you talked about doing like live sneak peeks. And for anyone who thought about it, live sneak peeks were the turning point in my business. And I think Kate could probably agree. And I didn't have anyone going because everybody can see what you're talking about live, everyone in your friend list. And no one ever wanted to come to my live sneak peeks, but I had tons of friends showing up and watching, and it changed my business because all of a sudden they were like, oh wait, you know, what are you doing? And so I encourage you, like Kate said, to step outside your comfort zone because you really are going to feel like a leader and get really excited about what you're doing. So thank you, Kate. That was super awesome.
Hi, Kate. It's Jen. Hi, everybody. I'm on the phone, so I can't see your lovely faces. But
Hey, Jen.
I wanted to, you nailed it today. It's almost like you are in my head and you know the things I'm struggling with, and then you just tackled them. So I don't have any major takeaways, or I mean, I think you just nailed it. And I hate to miss these calls. Obviously, it happens for me at 6 o'clock, which is prime, you know, cooking, taking care of children time. But it's so important. And you wrote on there, I hope to see your face. And that to me made a difference. And I decided this was important, so I'm walking around cooking dinner and on my phone. But I love hearing these calls. I love you guys, and it really just motivates me to get back out there and keep inviting people and helping people. So thank you.
Oh, good. Thanks, Jen. Thanks for coming on. And I want you guys to all know how much it means to us when we lead a call and you show up. And I know, like, there's things that happen and there's life, and especially Jen, like, you're on West Coast time and it's 6 p.m., but it means a lot when people show up. I feel teary-eyed right now, but it does. It means a lot because we put our time and effort into creating this content. I mean, I put a pacifier in my baby a lot today because I was working on this. And I thought, oh, I'm a bad mom. But then my sister's like, nah, you can do that as much as you want. But you know what I mean? Like, we put our time in because we care and we want to help you guys grow. And it means something to us. So when you show up, it means a lot. Sorry, I got like all these mom hormones now, I guess. And I don't know why I'm holding a credit card. Must have been shopping. But it means a lot when you show up. And I hope you know that.
Aw, I just love you.
You're so sweet.
You're making me cry. I'm such like an empathetic crier. Like somebody cries, and the one thing that I couldn't help but think of when you were talking about your last point, was like about doing the lives and doing things like that, was the validating your leadership. And I totally have to commend Brittany too. Like I loved seeing that she just jumped on and did a live video, and I was like, girl, you rock. But it made me really think about, and some of you guys are going to get this because I know some of you are nurses, but like when you're orientating, and this could probably apply to any field, but when I was orientating as an OB nurse, I was really hoping that all the scary stuff would happen when I'm on orientation. So really think about like this new coach period as being like your orientation, and get that scary stuff out. And like Kate said, you are welcome to jump on our team page, do these live, your why video, do your live why video on our team page, get that scary stuff out of the way, because just think of it as like the orientation, and you're getting pushed out and you're about ready to take a patient load, which like I said, it probably only applies to nurses here, but that's what I couldn't help but think was like all that scary stuff that just gives you just the heebie-jeebies and not wanting to do, just get it done, get it out of the way. We're here to support you, and it just makes it so much easier. It really does. And then the other thing that I just thought was a huge takeaway was when you were talking about doing a self-evaluation, really looking back at like your timeline and your page and stuff. I wrote down, are you being contagious? You said something about being contagious. And I was like, that's exactly the personality you want, because you want to be just that fun, and you want people to look at a picture of you holding a shaker cup and not be able to see what that dang drink is and go, I want what she's having. Like that's the type of personality and that enthusiasm you want to bring in your posts. So just keep it real, and, you know, like Kate said, bring the spin off of it. So anyways, I just thought that was such a great point.
Thanks for sharing. And I also have to give a shout out. Another thing that I think is awesome, like Sarah, she's leading her challenge group this month, and like taking the initiative to say, hey, does anybody want to lead a challenge group with me? Like that takes a lot of initiative. And I think that's awesome to see, because that's why this whole team is here, is to do these things together. So do things like that too. I think that's awesome. So kudos to Sarah for, I mean, who knows who's going to join you, right? But you're going to meet someone and you're going to connect with someone new, and it's fun, and you'll learn things from them as well. Anything else?
Hey, I'm going to jump on for a second.
Okay. We have less than a minute, so you could get cut off.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I just had a question about posts. Is there like a tutorial or something? Because my most popular posts have been about Brussels sprouts and water. So I'm just like kind of practicing right now on social media, and the things that I think would go over really well have flopped, and then like Brussels sprouts are really popular. So do you guys have like a tutorial or a document you could send me about practicing that?
I have something that shows a lot of different kinds of posts that another coach put together that you can use, but you'll find like just tracking those is going to be so important, because you're going to see how it grows. There'll be posts like, hey, do you want to join a challenge group? And it will feel like it flopped, but keep doing those because they matter. But we don't really have like a specific tutorial, do we? That's like about testing your posts.
Yeah, I don't mean like anything exact, like post this on this day or anything.
Okay.
Just like content as far as what seems to be more popular, I guess, because my simple posts tend to be more popular, and I'm, so I'm just trying to practice getting my affinity up and all that, that tutorial video for Janelle Summers. So
I think it's really hard to differentiate between everybody, because all of our audiences are so different. So just keep doing things and trialing things, because you'll eventually figure out. And, there are going to be those weird random posts that you're like, this means absolutely nothing, and I had 50 likes. Like, what the heck is going on? And I think everybody gets that. I don't think there's like